Pedro from A&P-Reacts. I'm here today with Pla Vinseiro from Crisix to talk about their latest EP and a few other things. The pizza EP, man, I have so many questions for you. I'm not even sure where to start, but how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just back from tour. I just arrived home a couple of days ago and really still feeling all the emotion of being, back on the road.
That was going to be actually where I wanted to start is how was this tour? I'm assuming this is the first time you guys got on the road since the pandemic hit. So how was it?
Really, we did some shows last year and this year that were like this kind of, we went to Hellfest. We did Hellfest online, but it was with no audience. And then just before the tour, we did a couple festivals in Spain, which was already hitting the road with some audience. And the last one was with people standing, in the south, because first we did one with people seated. And it was like, oh man, I can't believe it. We didn't really know it was going to be like this until we got there. And we were like, wow, yeah, it's coming back. So then we spent a week doing some promo for the EP before hitting Europe for the first time in 1 year and a half or maybe more. So I really have no words in the sense that, coming back to venues with people standing up with no mask, just a real thing again. It's amazing. And just being in the van, because I did miss the van. I didn't even get sleep, not like 15 hours a day driving. I didn't get sleep. I was so emotional being back in the van. I used to hate a bit the van.
I was going to say, I'm sure you hated it before, but now you're like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. Just playing music in the front row and talking all. And I even brought the computer and was, recording some stuff and mixing some stuff and for the new album, all this. And everything is amazing. It's like beginning again, like really like new blood inside of us,
How was the response from the fans on the new tracks from the EP on this tour?
You mean from the audience?
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy, man. They already knew the fucking songs. It was like, it's 4 songs in the end. It's not that much, but they were like, they really knew. They were asking for Wellness Mosh during all the show. They were asking for Raptors in the Kitchen. And we played the 4 songs, which really fit very cool now in the set list. And I didn't really expect, it was so fast and so much time being away. And then you get there and people really know the new stuff and they were really very happy. All I can say about these guys that came to the shows is everyone walk off with a smile, and we walk off with a smile. So it was total success in that sense.
Now, going back to this EP, when I saw that you guys were releasing an EP and you call it the Pizza EP, I thought to myself, man, I never thought about it before, but now that you're saying it, nothing goes better with thrash metal than pizza.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a fun and everyday thing, we eat pizza like we don't eat anything else because it's fast, because it's cool, so many different flavors, and you get it a lot of on the road, on rehearsal. And, we had this backstory with BB, the guitarist, being a pizza delivery guy in the early years and all these anecdotes. And it really fits. Of course, it fits. Mostly in a band like Crisix that has its kind of serious side, but also the fun side. It really came very natural in the end.
Is that where the inspiration came from having somebody in the band that delivered pizzas before and you liking pizzas so much? Is like, you know what, it's time we do something with pizza. Was that the inspiration?
Yeah, it was kind of like, he's always like telling the stories, now for years. And he has all these crazy anecdotes. What I like a lot, and I think we didn't put, well, we did say join the pizza cult. And this pizza cult really comes from this anecdote that the guy BB delivered some pizzas to a cult. once. I mean, he
Really?
went into this house and it was all these peoples with robes and this kind of dark environment. And he was like, fuck, let's get out of here as soon as possible, you know? And so that's why we came with the join the pizza cult, you know? So he had all these crazy stories, then we twisted everything a bit. And we thought it was such a funny concept for a song, and we went with it. And then from there, it developed into more culinary things, and it was like, man, maybe it was not that crazy to do this culinary EP, you know, because in the beginning you're like, but this is totally Crisix thing, you know, like somebody comes with this absurd idea and the rest are like, but then in the end we are always able to convince the other guys, and yeah, and in the end it really fits. Absolutely, I agree.
You guys also did some pizza deliveries, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, because this was one day before going on tour, and it's Bibi's birthday, and he's like, man, tomorrow is my birthday, last day in Barcelona, we should deliver pizzas. And we're like, you really want to go back to that, man? Now you're a musician. And he's like, it could make me feel so good to just go again and deliver to some fans. So we did this movie thing, because we did 4 video clips and it's like a movie, it's on YouTube. And we did the release in a cinema in Madrid and a cinema in Barcelona, which are the places that got the Crisix pizza on sale. And we did this kind of contest between the people that would, you know, give us their address and just surprise them. And he would be, you know, he was driving the motorcycle and we would be in the van from behind. We were recording for socials.
Did he have a Vespa?
Yeah. We got
Okay.
like this Vespa for, I don't know where they got it, but they got it. and we just went. And the thing is, he didn't deliver pizzas in Barcelona, because he did deliver pizzas in Igualada, which is like the town they are from, pretty near. But he never really delivered pizzas in Barcelona. So he got lost like so many times. He was like taking Google Maps like this, like, what's the next place? You know, it could be such a fucking disaster. And in the end, it went pretty cool. I think for the last delivery, we had to do a couple more rounds, but the guy is a professional, you know, what else can I say?
Are you guys now the first ever metal band to have your own pizza? Like, is this something that perhaps you guys can get in the Guinness Book of Records or something?
I'm not really sure. I think thrash metal pizza for sure, and then metal pizza maybe. But I know we are the first ones to release a cooking book, which we are doing. It's called Speed Metal Kitchen of Doom. And yeah. Crazy. And the Speed Metal Kitchen of Doom, I think, will be released next month, more or less. And this is, the first ever metal cooking book from a band, which we will put our favorite recipes, favorite pizzas, a bit of biography about the process of, you know, writing the EP, and also like our favorite caterings from festivals, from venues, from different countries. Very cool stuff. We really love this food thing. So we went all in, you know.
Yeah, you guys didn't hold back at all. It's like, you know, if we're going to do this, we're going to go all the way, you know.
Absolutely. But also I got to tell you, it's almost 2 years on rehearsal. This is what happens, you know.
This is what happens when you guys don't go on tour. There's too much room to go with crazy ideas.
That's it, yeah.
From a musical perspective now, when you look at an EP and you look at a full length album, do you guys approach them differently from a creative perspective?
You know, I think in reality we do not, because in the end, most of the songs, not all of them, come from the sessions for the new album that will be released soon. But it's more, I think, about after that, when you are really into the concept part, when you're an EP lets you do a bit easier, you know, because in the end it's more manageable. And then also I think it was cool because we could just go all the way with the fun stuff, because in the end, you know, the band really wants to have this balance, and we got guys that really like a bit more to have a bit more serious song, that everybody loves the fun part, but you know, it's always this a kind of middle thing. And with the EP we could really go mostly all the way into the fun stuff, which also I personally think it's what people need right now. You know, no bullshit, no nothing. Just have fun, be with your friends, come to the show. And I think this was a bit the message. The message was like, world needs Mosh. You know, it's like this: get back into the mosh pit, jump back into life, and enjoy it. And this was absolutely the message here.
What are you guys trying to achieve with the samples? Because I honestly, I thought the samples were great. Because
Right.
I'm listening to the songs. You know how I feel about the EP. I really enjoy this EP. You're listening to the songs, and you know the theme of the song. I mean, you get it from the lyrics and from everything else. But then when you guys add the samples, it just makes it feel more real. It makes it even more fun.
Yeah, it's a bit more like a story. You know, I really like and appreciate that you say this, because the samples are completely my thing here. This is actually the first Crisix release with original music that I write and produce and work with them, because I just did American Thrash before. I've been in the band for 3 years now. So this is like my first time really getting my hands on it. And I really come from this background. I'm a producer, I'm a professional musician. Before Crisix, I worked with so many different bands. And I really love this kind of things, you know, that add to the narrative.
Yeah.
And you know, they never had, I mean, they always had a bit of this, but really I wanted to push, and then they loved it. I think mostly in the It's Tough to Cook a Song, it really came like it kind of did the song, because we were writing this stuff, and it was like, yeah, it will be a cooking show. Now everything will make sense. And you know, the fun part, this is my manager Bastian doing the voiceover, and I sent him a WhatsApp message, and I'm like, hey Bastian, I really need this speed metal Kitchen of Doom for the song, so send me a bit of this introduction, outro, blah blah blah. And he sends me these 3 audio WhatsApps. This is what you hear there. It's not studio, it's just the phone. And I put them over my demo, which was what, like, my first structure I was doing, I think, with Bibi at the time. And poof, poof, poof. And I didn't have to move anything. It just
Perfect.
perfectly. And it was, how in the world can this be? So it was like, okay, this is staying. It's like a, you know, a signal. And but yeah, but really glad that you like the samplers. We were trying to experiment here a bit, which I think it's one cool thing about an EP too. And I really agree, and I like that we have this narrative going on. Very fun.
I think if you're creating songs that have a story, in this case pizza, whatever the story is, but in this case, because it's pizza and it's fun, I think it just helps paint the picture a little bit better. It makes the song feel more fun. And I think it works really well on an EP. I think if you go full length, you may have to kind of like be a little bit more careful with how much you use. But on this EP, I thought was outstanding. I mean, going into the first song, No Tip for the Kid. By the way, when I saw the title of the track, I was laughing even before I pressed play to listen to the song. Because, I mean, how many times have you been that guy that's pissed off, or the pizza is late, or it's all like mushed up and whatever? It's like, no tip for you, you know, and you get so mad, you know? I was dying. Like it was so well put together. I mean, if you have a pizza themed EP, the no tip has to be there somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, here in Spain, we don't even have that much of a tip culture.
Same in Portugal. Same in Portugal. Like we
Same in
don't.
Portugal, right?
Yeah, we actually don't tip at all. Like when my mother came to visit me in Canada, and I'm tipping, and she's like, "What are you doing? They already get paid for what they do." You know, I'm like, "That's not how it works here."
Absolutely. I think maybe a bit more in where they live in Catalonia. I think there's maybe a bit more of this tip, but in Galicia, for example, where I live, it's like Portugal. Yeah, no tip culture at all. But yeah, he really wanted them anyway, I suppose, you know. So it was like, hey, they never tipped me, and we're like, yeah, let's name it like that. No tip for you, man. No tip for the kid.
The song "The World Needs Mosh," that to me, it was such a powerful song, because I think you're able to create a thrash anthem with that track, but a thrash anthem that everybody can really get behind. Because I think everybody who listens to metal, regardless if they love thrash or not, can get behind the title track like that in a song of that nature. Do you feel like that's a little bit of that voice inside of you guys that came out on that track?
Absolutely. I think it's a very special song for the band. I mean, it's like written for the fans, but in a way, we wrote it for ourselves. You know, we really were, you know, going and going through this song, and we didn't have any lyrics for this, but the song was like, oh, this song is so cool, and we were like, what does it really mean for us, this, you know? And then it was so much time without Mosh, without shows, and we were always constantly saying, you know, we're missing this energy. You really, no, you know, because even in a band like Crisix, which is actually a fucking family, and it's all about love, and it's like the perfect band. I've been in a lot of bands, man. I never seen this, you know. These guys are this, we are just a real family. And you know, you really talk about this emotional thing. So we were really missing this. And then we were talking a bit about, you know, our first experiences with Mosh. And I was thinking, you know, the first time I saw Slayer, my phone dropped in the pit, and I found like 4 pieces of it after the show. Or I don't know, just going to high school and my older friends were playing metal. First time I see metal, and I'm hitting other people. I don't know why, but everybody's my friend and everybody understands me now. And but my mother says, that's so violent, I don't like it. So all this talking really came to this, I think, great concept of what Mosh means is love. What Mosh means is acceptance. What Mosh means is therapeutical releasing of the evil that has influenced you, the darkness that is inside you. You will release it with other people. Maybe you know them, maybe not, but they all accept you. And this is like the pit is a place of freedom. You know, I really think, and this explosion of the body. You know, I think it's very spiritual when you really look at that way.
Yeah.
And we came to all these conclusions, and then we went into the lyrics, and also it has a bit of this, you know, Crisix thing that is funny, kind of funny lyrics, but the truth is there, you know. So it's a mix of the both. And I'm really proud, and I'm really proud of the lyrics. I love it. I still laugh every time I read this, but at the same time, every time I read it, I think, you know, about the 15-year-old I was in a town where there were many metalheads, and you know, I really thought my teacher needed Mosh, my math teacher needed Mosh, you know, because but they didn't even know what Mosh was.
Mosh was,
So
yeah.
so I really wanted to think about me or this kid now that is 15, and who needs Mosh, and he will be like, yeah, my parents need a bit of Mosh sometimes, you know. So this is this is it,
I
man.
love that. Mosh is almost like a religious experience, you know.
Absolutely.
So
And I think
I feel
people
it.
really connected, because you could really see in the shows now that they connect with the message, and in the end it was written for them, so for all the guys. So
Now,
we're really
now,
happy with this.
what the hell were you guys thinking with Raptors in the Kitchen?
Uh-huh.
Like
Um
that was the shortest song. I think probably the shortest song you guys ever made. It
Absolutely.
has a little bit of a crossover thrash feel to it, but it's like when I think of Raptors in the Kitchen, I think of Jurassic Park. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, so what were you guys thinking with this track?
I think it all began, you know, we were just setting up for rehearsal, and Albert Requena, the other guitarist, he was like just playing this riff. He just made it up on the spot, and then Javi was like, "Yeah, that's cool," because Javi's really a punker. My drummer, he's like a punker, and he's like, "Yeah, boom, 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 boom." And then Juli, the singer, always was with this idea of, you know, let's write a Jurassic Park song. He always wants, you know, this kind of things. And you know, this with this idea that sometimes it's difficult to finish a song, but with this one, it was like poof, the riff came up, poof, the drums came up, and then Juli took a paper and he was like, yeah, this is the Jurassic Park song I was waiting for. And boom, 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 boom. And we
Wow.
hear it, and usually this happens a lot, but it's like, yeah, this is a cool song idea, let's work it later. But with this one, it was like, hey, we got a song. You know,
Wow.
we got a song, and it was like this, done in 5 minutes. Maybe we added a bit, or we changed some, I don't know, thing before recording, but it's actually also recorded live on the studio, which is a new thing for Crisix since the first demo. um that I really pushed, that the B-side of the album, it's all live on the studio. And I think the song really benefits from this,
Yeah,
you know,
I
not
agree.
this modern production, but really this, the
More
band
raw.
on the studio, one take, let's do it, and fuck it. And I love it. And I think it's the way for some of these songs.
Yeah, I agree with you. It captures a little bit of that raw energy, that grittiness that the song has. Without it, it's not the same thing. If you over polish it, then it's not the same thing.
Absolutely.
And to ask you about the last song, It's Tough to Cook a Song. Is this song more about cooking or more about making a track? Because I feel like there's a little bit of both in there.
Yeah, you know, in the beginning, the idea was, because it was kind of the last song we did, and we were doing the album at the same time, and we were like, with this idea, because we had this one song, I don't know which one it was, but it was like, oof, we were going in circles. I think we did like the same structure would end up coming back, you know, like we had a structure and then we would go and change. And 3 days later, we were back on the same structure. So it was like this, man, this song is so difficult to get. And I was like, okay, let's do a song about it, you know. And of course, we got the cooking theme. And I in the end, in the beginning, it was about the music. But in the end, I think it's a mix. And it's this cool metaphor, but at the same time, it's every member has his metaphor that it's used with his favorite food, and then foods that we eat in the road and all this. So it's, yeah, absolutely a mix. But I really like this song. I really like that it has a bit more of this rock and roll vibe on the chorus,
Yeah.
which
I
we brought
felt
back.
that. I felt that as well. I want to thank you for your time today, for you to chat, go through all the songs with me. I love you guys. You guys are my, like I said to you, you guys are my brothers. We're neighbors. We're neighbors. So you guys are my brothers from another mother. But before I go, I just want to get a little bit of information out there for the cooking book. Where can fans pick up the cooking book or get some information about the upcoming cooking book? You guys are going to post stuff on your social media. How can people get a hold of it?
Absolutely. We will do a lot of postal media for this, and they will be able to buy it from the official store. But I want to drop some news now, very new news, because also, I mean, we will drop the cooking book, but also we will drop a Crisix video game next month, which I kept silent about, but now I think it's the time to begin to speak about it. And we are dropping a video game, free video game. You can play on web, you can play as an app on your phone.
Wow.
And it's no tip, I mean, the Pizza AP video game, the no tip for the kid video game. So you will be driving through Barcelona being Bibi, and you will pick up pizzas and throw it to the zombies that will come at you. Is super fun game, very old school, very retro game. I really like this kind of thing. Yeah. And this will also drop next month, but this still we have to talk a lot about it on socials, but so you know, it's like this new info, and I think everybody will love it. It's such a special
you know what I think we have to do? We have to connect again when the video game is out, and me and you do a little bit of a playthrough of the video game.
I'm up. Yeah, I sign up. Yeah, absolutely. Count on
that. All right. We'll do that, because it sounds amazing. It sounds like one of those old Atari, you know, like Spectrum style games from back in the day, you know?
It's kind of this. Yeah, it's this side scrolling, very simple game, but very cool, you know, very retro. And you have the song, you will have no tip for the kids song in 8-bit. I did this version on 8-bit. So it's very cool, very special. For Nintendo Heart fans like I am, you know, I think it's very cool. And the cooking book is coming out more or less around the same time. This will be next month. The news will come in for all this.
All right, man. This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time. And we'll play that video game in the very near future. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, we will do the playthrough. Absolutely. Count on me. Thank you very much, man. It was really a pleasure. Really love your reaction video, and looking forward to check more stuff too.
All right, man. Take care. Okay. All the best. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.